Good morning and welcome to Mountain Harmony Gardening on this winter morning. It finally feels like winter here. So we've got about 2 inches of snow right now, and I'm going to take you around the yard and show you what it looks like. There's not much going on, but you can kind of see the changes that have happened in our yard during the winter time. All right, so follow me. We got everything covered up. So we put a tarp over everything, and our pots and all of our kind of decorations and such are underneath here. We left the grill out a little bit so that we can still use it. But this is all covered up for the winter. And Donnie wrapped our trellis. And the reason that he did this is
because I didn't want to have to take it apart. 300 screws and all the little bars, so it would have been a pain in the neck. Next year I'll try to get some black duct tape. That looks pretty bad.
But it's protected for the winter, so we're happy. It said in the instructions it's removable. It is not removable. All right, let's go look to the front of the garden. Can't see our paving stones, but I kind of know where they're at. So this kind of little bit of a mound here is where we're overwintering our fern, and this will be great. So, and you can see barberries asleep, and you can kind of see some of the irises poking through. They don't mind the cold weather at all. And finally, our double flowering almond has lost all of its leaves. And this corner is put to sleep for the winter. And this is our huckleberry that I'm doing the experiment with. I want to see if any of it comes back. I know that this part here will not come back, but I'm hoping that maybe something will sprout from the ground. So we'll see. It doesn't hurt to leave it. Oh, look at the pine tree with all the snow. It's so pretty.
Our one-sided pine tree.
Oh, the reason it's one-sided like this is because when it was little, the deer came through our yard, it ate off that half. So I'm hoping as it grows taller and I trim it more at the bottom, that once it gets to about this size, then it'll look okay. And we're going to be putting lights all along the front of the fence and in the pine tree later on today. I'll show you a clip of that at the end of the video. So not much to report in these beds. All the leaves are still there. Everything's covered with snow. And it looks good. So, oh yes, everything's definitely covered in snow. These are the only garden decor, this one and the other one, that we leave up all year round because they can handle being out in the snow. Hey.
The bearings got rusty though. I'm gonna have to pull those out and replace them.
Yeah, this one's a little crooked because when we first got it, before we had our 6-foot fence, a deer jumped into the yard and hit this and knocked it over. Scared the deer half to death, and it ran off. But yeah, it's a little crooked, but it still spins. Hey. Oh, there's another iris poking through the snow. So I'm really hoping that those made it through this winter. All right. And here's our raspberries. This is how we leave them for the winter time because you cut raspberries back in the spring. I had thought about cutting this completely down, but I decided, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and wait until spring when we're gonna be redoing the whole entire trellis, and this can just overwinter like this. It's a good spot for the birds to sit, and they'll enjoy this little kind of hiding spot. Now, the comfrey, I should have taken out its stand a long time ago, but it's stuck there for winter. Snow dropped down the trees. So it's there for winter time and it'll be fine. So we're just gonna leave it. This I leave out all year round too. And then you can see more irises poking through the snow. All right, over to the Japanese garden. Okay. So now you can see all the crab apples that are left on the tree, and the birds come and they eat those kind of like all winter long. And by the springtime, they'll all be gone because the animals will have eaten them. And that's one of the reasons that I leave them on the trees, for a food source for them. So it's just kind of snowy in here. In the springtime, I trim up both the clematis and the honeysuckle and cut off any of the dead, because right now, at the end of the year, it's kind of hard to tell. All right, let's move this way. Okay, lots of snow dropping out of the trees.
Dropping on the camera.
Well, thank goodness it's waterproof.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the poor little apple tree didn't really lose much of its leaves. There we go. There we go. That'll help it from breaking all the branches. All right. So this is pretty much what the herb garden and this part of the Japanese garden looks like this time of the year. In the spring, I will be cutting all this back, and this is still alive. I can feel it. It's not gotten like crispy feeling. It's actually still pretty soft, and all this will be fine. And in the springtime, I'll be showing you guys how to cut it back. Okay, I think we got more than 2 inches. Okay, so here's our garden, and it's pretty much just kind of waiting for next spring. You can see here that this is the parsley, and it's just overwinters. You cut it back, it overwinters, and then it'll sprout from the base and grow up in the springtime. I'm going to be removing just a little bit of this when we move the trellis down, but most of this will stay for Patsy, like I said in our last video. We can kind of look behind the house, and you can see the raspberries are sleeping for the winter. And since so many of them kind of looked a little bit sad at the end of the season, I will be cutting these not completely down, because we want to make sure we still get some raspberries in the spring and then later in the summer. So we're just going to be cutting off anything that's dead. And I can still see there are some of the raspberries back there are still green. Some of the new shoots. But this will get well, not a complete transformation, but a pretty big transformation next year, just because we don't want it doing this again next year. We want to be able to walk through here. All right, we'll head to the top of the garden. You can kind of see that a little bit better. How much snow do you think this is, Donnie?
Oh, about 7 inches.
Yeah. I didn't think it actually snowed that much, but I think between our storm that we had on Thursday and then one we had last night, today's Saturday, I think it accumulated. All right. Oh, the pumpkin trellis looks kind of cool. All that snow on it. So we left this for this year, and we'll be taking it down next year and moving everything. We don't try to move anything when it's fall. We do all that type of work in the spring. Okay, here is my perennialized kale. And we can get a close-up of the leaves. Those are still edible. This is pretty much just like having it in the freezer. So if we want, we can still come out here during the winter time and harvest it. The collard greens, yeah, they're probably still edible because they haven't gone soft, but I'm just leaving those go so that in the springtime I'll see if they come back. I don't know if I can perennialize these like we have with the kale, but it's an experiment. It's fun. This is what gardening is about, is learning new things. Let's see, let's go to the Okay, that's pretty much it for our garden tour this time of the year. Everything's covered in snow. That's the biggest thing. But for this winter, I will be keeping you updated. I'll come out here every so often and I'll show you what it looks like, because now that our we're starting to get snow, it'll start accumulating. So we'll get more and more snow piling up. And I want to show you guys what a real Rocky Mountain winter looks like. And it's been a little bit later start than normal, because remember I said it started in kind of like around Halloween. Well, this is our first good snow, and it's December 2nd. So it's a little bit later than normal, but check out that zone map. Has your guys' zone changed? Ours did not. But you also want to learn your microclimate in your own specific garden. And here I can get away with growing stuff that wouldn't normally grow in a zone 6A. So figure it out, keep logs. All those tips I'm going to be going over in more detail in the following videos. So we've still got 2 more of the 4-part series that I'm doing. And then we're going to be interviewing the master gardener. I'm going to be going over some more houseplants. I'm going to be shooting tomorrow some houseplant videos for you guys, because during the wintertime, what else do? We take our garden inside and it becomes houseplants. And then in January and February is when we're going to be talking about starting our seeds. And I know that a lot of you are looking forward to that. So here's a short tour of the garden in the wintertime, and I appreciate all of you guys for watching, and I want to thank every single one of you. We're almost up to 100 subscribers. I am so excited in such a short amount of time, and thank you guys for watching the videos as always. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. I would really love for you guys to get conversations going in our comments, but please remember to keep them respectful and follow the community guidelines. You won't know all that stuff, right? All right, so happy gardening! I promised you guys I would show you the lights. It's not a lot of them, but it looks pretty cute. We wrapped it around the little obelisk over there. And then they go up the pine tree. And we decide we need more lights because the pine tree has gotten so large that we can only wrap it around the trunk. So that's what we've done to decorate. Happy holidays.